All right, former Congressman Eric Swallwell is now facing a major escalation in a federal investigation. FBI agents seized his electronic devices at San Francisco International Airport, then searched his Washington, D.C. home. Sources say the actions are part of a criminal investigation into allegations of sexual misconduct. Swallwell denies the allegations, and this comes, of course, as newly declassified FBI records have shed more light on his past contact with Christine Fang, the woman U.S. officials identified as a suspected Chinese operative, who's also known as Fang Fang. Chris Hinkle's here, retired FBI Supervisory Special Agent. Chris, great to have you. Swallwell flying out of San Francisco International Airport when the FBI stopped him, took all his electronics, including his cell phone. Why do you think they waited until he was at the airport, Chris?
It's a standard practice. They were executing a second warrant at his home. It seems like he was cooperative at the time since they didn't arrest him when they seized these items. But it's a usual practice that if they have indications that the person's looking at leaving the country, he was at this international airport, I guess, boarding a flight to I don't know where. But it's not unusual for the FBI to conduct this type of seizure at the home as well as his physical location at the airport.
So is that because they think he might flee the area and they want to get to him before he does? And if so, what are they looking for by doing this at the airport and seizing these electronics and everything like that?
It could be that they thought he might be fleeing the area, but it doesn't seem likely since there was no type of order to restrict his movement. I'm not sure if they took his passport or if they just took the electronic devices. It could be a case that they're also running with the locals based on the abuse allegations. It does dovetail into federal charges if he was doing that in his position as a U.S. congressman, because then he would fall under a civil rights statute of using his position. But it doesn't seem that they were concerned that he was leaving. It also is an attempt to see what happens after. You seize his electronic devices at the airport, you search his home, and then you wait and see how he reacts afterward, who he contacts, what type of actions he takes, where does he go first. There's a lot of moving parts to these investigations.
Yeah, I think we have kind of two areas that Swallwell's involved in here, right? So we've got the sexual misconduct allegations. That's what sources are saying this was about against Swallwell. And, I don't know, I'm not an attorney. How much does that fit into the statute of limitations, et cetera? But then we have the other side of this where the FBI has just opened a probe into his relationship with this alleged Chinese spy, Christine Fang. When you think about the devices that they took, if you had to guess, any indication as to which one of those investigations might play into what they took from him, seized from his different homes? Any guesses there?
While the FBI does take it seriously, these sexual abuse allegations that are out there, their priority is going to be on national security. So they're going to be looking at information that might be contained on the phone that corroborate information that they've already collected from outside sources. Nearly all of the things that you do on these electronic devices is captured somewhere else. And with a court order, you can get that information. It also can be they're at a point in the investigation and looking into this Chinese national that's accused of being a spy for the People's Republic of China, that they've gotten to the point now where they need to seize these devices in the hopes to find the things that they're looking for or to corroborate the things that they already have found through other means.
Yeah, so as we look at this, though, if they're seizing electronic devices, this was quite some time ago that Swallwell was involved with Fang Fang, right? So could there still be an evidence trail related to Fang Fang on these electronic devices, even at this point, this many years later?
Absolutely. I worked a number of counterintelligence investigations in the FBI. Some of them run 2 to 3 years. I've had them run 10 plus years, where you're looking for information and looking for activity that's being conducted by one or more people. These investigations, they're so meticulous and they're so nuanced, especially on the counterintelligence side, that they do take a long time. So it may have just gotten to the point right now where, okay, it's time to go seize these electronic devices. We've gathered all the information that we can through other means, and now it's time to start putting a bow on this.
Chris, just lastly here, any ideas as far as, depending on if they find something in this investigation as it relates to Fang Fang, what kind of time? Could there be jail time? Is this, a fine? What could Eric Swallwell potentially be looking at?
He could be looking at some jail time for his activities, especially if he was leaking classified information. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the days to come if Swalwell and his attorneys decide to cooperate with the federal investigation. My guess is that something like that would happen very soon.
Okay, well, it is certainly got a lot of people interested. There's some drama involved in this. Chinese spy, congressman, all the elements there. Chris Hinkle, thanks for being with us today. Appreciate your time. All right, coming up, a fall from a second story.